Good morning, campers. This is day 50 billion of isolation, and I do declare that I may have had a touch of the COVID, all due credit to Russell Kane for that excellent Rinky Dinky song. Today, in the Gobby Hoe's gardening adventures, we are going to be planting some garlic. Now, I usually plant flowers and shit, but I'm going to try my hand at vegetables, which I think a few of you are. So let's start this by digging over yonder bed. So follow me, camera person, and don't get my massive posterior in this, thank you. Are you looking at me, or are you looking at the spade? So what I've done here is I've put half a bag of compost into this raised bed, and I'm going to dig it in, okay, so that it's nice and nutritious for the garlic. So behold how to turn a bed over. You put your foot on the spade and you lift some earth up, and you, especially if it's, I've got acidic clay, which is why I'm able to grow things like rhododendrons and magnolias. So it gets very compacted, and when it's wet the water just sits on top of it, and when it's dry it just turns rock solid. So you have to dig organic material into it, like compost, and some people even dig in stones to improve drainage. And this already has quite a few stones in it, because you may be wondering why my garden looks so empty, and that's because I had building work after I moved in, and the gardens were just overgrown. I had a ton of 30-foot high leylandii, I think, a bit off more than I can chew there, and the roots were so pervasive that they had to be gotten up. Also, the fact that one of my shitty neighbours complained to the local council, so I got a letter saying, "You've got to trim your bushes up because they're overhanging the pavement." And I made the point that I was going to do that when the building work was finished, and then the council helpfully pointed out, after they sent me a snotty letter, saying that if somebody took their eye out on my bushes, then I was legally liable. So I had to pay £2,000, thank you neighbours for dobbing me in, to get all of my leylandii taken out and the stumps grinded. £2,000 fucking pounds. That was a bitter pill to swallow, I can tell you. So anyway, enough of that. Although at some point I might tell you how one of my neighbours impersonated a local government officer and tried to shut my build down. But anyway, so that's why my gardens are empty, is that I'm literally starting from scratch. So for those of you who've got a yard or a garden where you've done nothing but put astroturf down and a couple of deck chairs and some cat shit, we're all starting together. And today, fashion-wise, I am wearing the lining of a snowboard coat, which is why I look like a 1980s nightclub bouncer. Okay, and also, I mean, this look was popular in about 1984 with the kids from Fame, but I've got Reynolds in my toes, which means I get very cold feet. So that is why I've got unappealing socks over my M&S leggings, okay? And by the way, if you do gardening, you will end up with big legs like mine. So if you want to remain a gazelle, ladies, I suggest you get someone else to do your fucking gardening. And I suggest also that this vlog probably isn't for you. If you don't want to chip your nail varnish and you can't be bothered with a bit of muscle tone in your arse, then gardening is probably not your thing, okay? So I'm speaking to all my sisters and brothers out there that don't mind a bit of solid graft and getting dirty. So for all those of you in lockdown, I suggest that the best way to avoid homicide of your family is to dig the garden over. I'm going to try and avoid digging too close to this beautiful rose tree, because that was planted just before the winter really set in, and I don't want to fuck up the roots. I don't want to kill my rather expensive rose tree. Right, okay, so we're going to plant some garlic now that I've dug over this bed and raked it so that it's reasonably nice and crumbly. Now what you need, you can make these yourself with just sticks and some rope or twine, is this. I don't know what you'd call this, and I don't even know whose this is, but I've moved house so many times, I seem to have inherited quite a lot of gardening gear. But anyway, what you do is this. You put one end in there, and then unravel this. Come here, camera person. You unravel this, but keep it taut, and put that line in there, that one in there, so that you've got a straight line. So that's your guide. And you just tighten them up. That's your guide. You know to plant in a straight line there. Okay. Now with these garlics, what you do. I mean, I've ordered these from an online doobity-da online. I've ordered these from an online doobity-da, and what you get sent is a bulb of garlic, but this isn't like the sort of garlic you buy in Sainsbury's. This is proper growing garlic, and you take off all the cloves, and each individual clove, unless it's rotten, is going to get planted. Alright, see? I've got some in the pot there that I already started separating. Okay? Right. Okay, so now we're ready to plant some garlic. Now, you get your clove and check that it's not rotten. This is okay. They'll rehydrate when they're in the ground. Oh, my knees. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I can't get up. These need to be an inch deep, so they need an inch of soil on top of them. You plant them flat side down. You see that? Flat side there. And you plant them 4 inches apart, and each row has to be 6 to 8 inches between them. Okay? So, oh my God. I'm going to just dig a little inch deep hole here. Okay? You come in and see me doing this with my trowel, which I call Excalibur. So you put that, and you put a good inch of soil on top of it. Make sure it's crumbly and don't compact it too much, yeah? Because you want those roots to be able to establish. So there's one. So that's about 4 inches. So here's my next one. And you follow the guidelines so that you know that you're planting in a straight line. Okay, flat side down. You put your inch on top, another 4 inches. That's about here, okay? I've got a big lump of clay in the way here. I'll just move it aside as best as I can. My knees are absolutely fucking killing me. Right, okay. Crumble your soil on top. Okay. Oh, my knees. Fucking hell. Jesus, nobody warned me. All those years of long distance running. I'd end up with knees like a 65-year-old when I'm 48. Bastards. Right, another 4 inches. Jesus, this is going to take all day, isn't it? I don't think my knees are up to this. I might have to get you, camera person, involved in this. Right, and then put, oh shit, on a brick, my bloody knees. We've done our first row, and we move our guide down. It was, right, so the last one was there, so about here, which is about 6 inches away. Okay? And move this down, and I can see where I've firmed the soil there. So that's about, there we go. I'll just tighten that up, and then we can, oh fucked, then we can start our next boring row of planting garlic. But we eat a lot of garlic in our house, so although it's boring, at some point we're going to have lots of tasty homegrown garlic. Brilliant for your curries and whatever. So, as you can see, not only have I tied up my gorgeous hair, and you can't, I'm hoping you can't see my bald spot anymore. But also I have finished planting up my bed. Well, I mean, this half onwards is full of garlic, so I intend to put some I intend to put some broccoli. I'm really having trouble remembering shit. Clearly deficient in vegetables. I'm going to put some broccoli in there on that side, and it's fucking freezing, so I think we're going to call it a day now. I'm sorry if this was a bit serious and I didn't do enough swearing or being a dickhead. So I'm going to make up for that now by confiding in you, dear people, and telling you that by the time we get out of quarantine, my tits will be so droopy I'll have to roll them up like socks. And just as the parting shot for today's session with the Gobby Hoe, do subscribe and like if you like it on YouTube. I'm going to do a little song and a dance for you, and I think in honour of the sock arrangement, just zoom in on my lovely ski socks camera person and the beautiful muddy trainer arrangement with the hole. I'm going to do the song from the kids from Fame. Fame, I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna learn how to fly. Fame, I feel it coming together. People will see me and cry. Fame, I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna plant all my garlics in my bed. Fame, I have a touch of the COVIDs. Baby, remember my name. Remember, 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 remember.